Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ESL monthly finals for the month of August. My name is Renkies and I am being joined by Racket in the casting booth. Racket, how are you, my friend?
Feeling fantastic, mate. It's a wonderful night. It's actually been quite hot lately, and the weather's soothed up for a good cast on the grand final
Nice. I got to ask, what state are you in?
in New South Wales.
All right, now it's a lovely 13 degrees in Perth. So everyone's been complaining about the weather warming up, but in Perth, it's literally been we've been having days where it's like your maximum and minimum today is going to be 15 degrees, and the temperature just doesn't change. It's been like that for weeks. So I'm still in the middle of winter, it seems.
Well, it's actually been very bad for Sydney recently. We had a recent heat wave last weekend, and hopefully it doesn't happen this weekend because I actually want to relax without not sleeping for a while.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Have you been having issues with snakes over there at all?
Snakes? Not in my area. I've actually never seen a snake in my whole life, so I haven't had that
Really?
that sort of privilege yet. Even if you can call it a privilege.
Oh man, I'd say it is. I mean, you see a dugite or a tiger snake or something, you get to stepping, boy, because you're not hanging around for literally not a word of a lie. We used to have a family friend of this, not to put him down, but he was like a big dude, 200 kilos almost or something. I've never seen anyone run faster than him from like a 2 meter long dugite in my life. It's the fastest I've ever seen someone run, and he was that big. So yeah, you don't hang around if you see a snake like that.
Well, I wouldn't have a chat with a snake. I don't think I'd be within 50-meter radius of one.
Yes, so it looks like we just had to remake the lobby, but we are joining back in now. First up, of course, sorry for the delays in getting everything sorted, ladies and gentlemen, but we are here for the good part of the stream. We get to see the lower bracket final, and this decides who goes through to the grand final. So right now we have Conspiracy facing off against To Be Decided. Going to be interesting, Racket. Neither of us have a ton of experience casting these teams, usually because they're just not around as much in your bigger leagues that you would see. Particularly To Be Decided. Conspiracy, I have seen a fair amount of course. A good old Hectic and Slurpy monster on that side there. And it's always fun watching those two play together. No matter what third they have on their team, they always play well together.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be quite interesting as well because we don't really see any of the titans that you could easily point to and like, yeah, this is going to be very easy for a certain team to win, right? And I think having it a little bit more spread open as well. Obviously, there weren't that many teams in this specific one, but it gives sort of breathing room and more experience for other teams to sort of scrap through, if you know what I mean.
Right. And I'm just looking at the other players that are in the lobby right now, and I would hazard that Walcott is on with Conspiracy. Yes, he is. So that means Eret, a name I haven't seen in a long time, is playing with Classic Old Mate, someone I've not heard of before, and X-Ames, a name I do recognize. This is a PlayStation team taking on a PC team, so got to give the advantage here to Conspiracy. However, Eret has been around since I very first started casting. He can pull off some amazing things on that PlayStation. So I'm expecting some nice stuff here in this first game, Racket.
Well, let's see if the PC supremacists can come out in this match. It's gonna have a nice console war to see if we can kick this up.
And so it is platform up against platform. X-Ames, that's a nice chip over, but Slurpy Monster with a save out in front of the net. Pinch out of the corner. Eret, that's a good center, but no one to it. Walcott dumps it in the middle. It's just going to go straight to Classic Old Mate. Over to X-Ames, looking for a pass into the midfield. Walcott, good defense, but it's right in front of the danger zone. Slurpy Monster gets the pass out to Hectic. A little touch on, but Eret too close to him. Gets the clearance out into the corner. So a little bit of back and forth to start things off here, Racket, but so far looking good for both teams.
Yeah, and see if Conspiracy can clear this efficiently, because right now, a little bit of pressure's mounting. Top of that crossbar, and once again, the relentless pressure!
Oh!
As he said, very close. Save.
That was amazing there from Walcott. Slurpy's had a big clear down the field. Eret pop it back. So close call in defense there for Conspiracy. Oh, no way that's gone in.
And then that slips in. After such a heroic attempt, before those saves, look at this.
Oh, Eric.
that.
Feels bad, man. It looked like he may have got the jump, but because it was off the backboard straight on the ground, I've been there before. It's a very awkward position to be in. So I was about to give the pass over with the casting because I was fully expecting Eric to be able to get the save, but apparently not. So we do see that first goal go over to, I believe it was Walcott. Ended up putting it in for Conspiracy. That's a good pass, and Walcott again with the second.
That is absolute class there. Look at this. The dribbles. Bobbing it to the side there. Walcott comes in above the ball through the center of the defense there. This nice dribble play, passing it through down to the mid goal there. Just awesome play so far, showing some superior teamwork. 2-0 up already.
Absolutely, it was a fantastic rollover from Walcott. Another one to Hectic, and that was on, but classic old mate with the save pretty far out of the box there. It's a pinch off the ceiling going towards the goal. Hectic has time. Classic old mate dumps it down to the tyres. It's off the top bar though. Almost, but not quite, as Slurpee gets the clear past Eric. X-Ames will slow things down. Eric does get a touch there before, I believe it was Walcott with the challenge up in the air. Floating back now, Hectic in an awkward position. Will manage to turn around as Slurpee tries to get it cleared at X-Ames. Powerful hit across the field. Hectic doesn't get it past Eric, and that's almost in, but Walcott tips it high. Slurpee with the clearance away from the backboard, stopping to be decided from getting any backboard shots in here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, although Conspiracy have the lead in the scoreline here, their clear balls have been a little bit lackluster. They've been forced to the back fence a lot of the time. As I say this, they actually get a breakthrough, so there's the curse in itself there, but I think the key for to be decided here is to keep on continuously mounting this pressure, because Conspiracy, although they have the scoreline lead here, it's because they were able to get the ball loose in midfield rather than them defending well and getting a good clear. Look at that!
That was a bit messy in defense from Conspiracy. Walcott tried the wall pinch, but X-Ames perfectly played, and then onto the backboard. Classic old mate in a classic spot on that back right corner of the goal box. Slots one into the back of the net. Reduces it to a 1-goal deficit now up against Conspiracy, who were looking stronger, but after that defensive, as T-Ball would say, dog's breakfast. Not so sure now. We'll have to wait and see here, Racket.
I actually predicted that goal as well. So already it's an opposite caster's curse. It's a caster's spell, a positive spell.
Given the buffs over to the side of to be decided. Slurpee will wrap around on this one. Lack of communication as Walcott jumped up, but he did get out of the way. However, Hectic wasn't able to receive the pass, so now it's X-Ames looking off the backboard. Walcott, good intercept, and that throws it long. Forces Eric to make a play into the corner. Does get a touch on the curb. Should grab this boost and has time. X-Ames will call though. Eric looking to play forward. Doesn't challenge Walcott. Knows he's too late. Classic old mate. Jump up in the goal box wasn't required, as Conspiracy weren't able to follow through with the backboard players. Classic old mate now tries to clear. There's Eric. Backboard already up. Walcott not in a good position, and that's down. Bar in Eric. What a play.
That's a difficult spot to get rid of the ball there. Top left-hand corner, bouncing on top of the crossbar. Walcott is sort of stunned of the shot there. Not really much he could do in that situation, but slipping it past there and already finding the room to get 2 goals each. So to be decided, they're deciding their own fate right now.
Absolutely, it looks like Hectic left the game for a very brief period. Quickly rejoined, maybe trying to fix some lag issues on the fly or something. Slurpee though, will he carry it all the way? Not quite, as it flies shy of that far post. Hectic still very much in the game right now. Eric will chip out of defense, gets the boost, manages to find it past Walcott, and just over the top of Slurpee. Walcott in the air, will leave that for Hectic. Slurpee can't receive on that one, a little bit too quick as X-Ames and Eric work for this one. Be cleared. Classic old mate, hit too slow to the ball there, as Walcott will take advantage now. Puts that one on target for top right, but Eric with a sweeping save dives across. They need the clearance now because Hectic looking pretty close to get touch off the backboard, but misjudged it, went a little bit too high for him, Racket.
Yeah, this has been very close so far. Once you've got this game in a bit of a gridlock, a lot of forward play coming in right now. Both teams are sort of trying to feel each other. Walcott looking to get a big clearance, but once again, Conspiracy are really gaining too much coverage off their defense, their defensive clears, sorry. They just need to get it out of their end because the pressure's been very, very much in their favor.
Absolutely, it's Hectic. Received a nice pass downfield. Slurpee, does he put it on? Yes, but Eric is there for yet again another save. Looked like that should have gone to classic old mate. He is on the back of the ball. Let's see if he can work the pass across. It's going to be cleared across by Walcott. Just needs to touch the ground now and we go to overtime. But never forgetty, Mum Spaghetti, it won't go in. Overtime it is. I've seen goals off the sideball like that many a times for a heartbreaker, but not today, Racket.
Yeah, well, sadly that didn't happen for them, but it's very exciting to see overtime in a grand final. This proves that both teams are on a relative skill level, or maybe they're just sort of adapting.
Oh!
Right now. Well, well, that came out of nowhere.
Ames, you mentioned grand final. We're not quite there yet. It is the lower bracket final, but I mean, if they win this series, they're certainly through. They're asking if it's a best of 3 or a best of 5. It is a best of 5, so I'm just going to let them know in the chat there. So yeah, this, if you're joining us late, ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of this series, that was game 1 going to the way of to be decided in a very close match, Racket, and this is the lower bracket final. Whoever wins this does go through to the grand final.
Well, it's been very close so far. Only decided in an overtime goal. And I think Conspiracy ended up getting, a very decisive lead there at the beginning. But once they sort of didn't have the possession where they wanted to, I think a lot of their pressure did come off kickoffs as well, when they sort of had the room to move within their own passing, rather than, getting a good clear and setting stuff off that. I felt like that was their real weakness, trying to get, some goodwill to ball action when they were in the defensive position, rather than, when they're proactive, they got the goals on the other end, but to be decided, really punishing them when they did have that opportunity to pressure.
Absolutely. So, I mean, towards the beginning of that game, it was looking heavily in favour of Conspiracy. Who knows what happened there? Maybe they got a little bit too lax. Maybe to be decided woke up on the field and start playing a bit more to their full potential. I know how good of a player Eret is. I've never seen Classic Old Mate. X-Ames, I know, is also a fantastic player. So, it really is quite an evenly matched scenario, as it turns out, with such a close game there in game 1. We'll see how game 2 pans out. Already 15 seconds in, we could see the first goal. Hectic perhaps trying to fake it out, but Eret wasn't going to fall for it. However, Slurpee Monster with a nice lob into the top left corner there.
Yeah, that's just pure accuracy there. Boom. Nice shot. Name's very close to getting that, but no cigar, unfortunately. And once again, Conspiracy launching off with a very with a lead already. Let's see if this time they can preserve their lead and see how their playstyle alters as a result of them getting that 1 goal up.
We'll see. Indeed, Slurpee almost required in defense there. He's going to be required to get this clear out. Walcott will touch it towards goal. It's a little bit too far to the right. Would have made it very hard for Classic Old Mate to get the save. Walcott now touching the midfield, looking for Hectic. It's too far over though. Hectic could have stayed on the left wing, but you want to keep momentum wherever possible in Rocket League. He's going to have to get the save. Not quite there as Classic Old Mate doesn't take the opportunity. He needed boost. Walcott now down the field, looking for a pass from Slurpee. Perfectly played in the midfield, but no one there to receive, and X-Ames will get an easy clear off the back of this.
They did miss it a little bit there. Now Classic Old Mate in possession of the ball. Position of that demolition didn't really grant any advantages, but still possession in favour.
Almost seen another boomer from Eret there with the bar down. Walcott clearance out. X-Ames. It's not looking good, but Eret only time to rotate back. Chips it up with a follow-up. Walcott tries to challenge, but Eret takes it way high over the top. So has possession, not a lot of support in the area though. Tries to get the pass to Classic Old Mate, but Slurpee Monster, and is that going to be it? No, X-Ames stays far enough back to get the save. Hectic, looking for a little cheeky one. He's done it as well! I didn't think he had time. I thought he might have had to just go for the pinch and try and get it to pass across, but look at the way he plays this. Sees where Eret is and knows, I can squeak that in off the post, bounces off of Eret, but doesn't affect the ball's trajectory, just goes straight in behind the net.
Yeah, as you said, just bouncing off the opposite player there, giving the room that was needed in that situation, and of course, launching it into the goal as well. A hectic play from the hectic player.
There we go, ground pinch, good. Oh my god! I want to call that a dirty dangle, but it's not. It's kind of like a ground pinch variation of a dirty dangle. Either way, shout out to Leaf X, my good friend. That was an amazing shot there from Hectic. I'm trying to wrap my head around how he did that. It was like a chip up and he followed it down with a ground pinch. Somehow worked the angle for that post. Amazing stuff there, Racket.
Sort of looks like an eagle across the ocean. You know how they pick up fish?
Yeah.
Just sort of picking up the ball there, sliding it across like a predator almost. It was awesome. Already 2 outplays from Hectic.
Well. 3-0 with 2 minutes, 38 seconds counting down. Just about halfway into the game, and it's looking a lot stronger for Conspiracy again. There should be another one. Nice pass off the backboard from Hectic to Walcott. Good follow-up there. Looked like Hectic may have wanted the goal all to himself, but couldn't get it to go left enough. Actually, looking at the replay, it does look like an intentional backboard pass.
Well, around this time, Conspiracy were 2-0 up. Now they've doubled that. Let's see if they can maintain it for obviously a much difficult scoreline to get back from. But Conspiracy sort of changed in the way that they worked around. Now they're being a lot more aggressive. They want to forward more goals into the back of the net.
Yeah, they're not giving To Be Decided a chance to control the pace of the game, which is what they were able to do towards the, I'd say, last 3 minutes of the previous game. This game, stark contrast, Conspiracy all over the ball, really putting punishing passes through the defense of To Be Decided. More importantly, just not giving them any time or space to react where necessary.
Yeah, well, it is going to be quite difficult to get through as well if they don't get the possession that they need. To Be Decided. See if they can try to get something off here. Of course, not really too much time left on the clock, but see if they can try and discover something new about Conspiracy here, because once again, Conspiracy getting an early lead. This time they're snowballing it.
I'm sorry.
From there.
I don't know what's happened. We were talking Conspiracy up, and then that happens to defense. What a save from Classic Old Mate. Next Sames gets the clearance out. Eric, this is looking dangerous. So for about the past 20, almost 30 seconds, Conspiracy just, completely changed as a team. They were having really awkward touches bumping into each other in defense. They've managed to sort things out, so we're not going to see To Be Decided to pick up a goal just yet. They are working for it though, Racket.
Well, they're deciding when they're getting a goal, mate. We can't decide them to get a goal. They can decide. That's how the game works for every person who's in the driver's seat, actually. As we do not play for them, they play for themselves. They're driving, so...
Absolutely. Hectic looking for the pass across. Slurpy's there. Feels backflip, man. Not going to get that one, but Walcott flies in as that third rotation. This is like... I just want to watch this from Slurpy's point of view, because he has a great angle of his own feels backflip, and he's like, oh, man, Walcott's got my back. All good. 5-0, 44 seconds remain.
Walcott's a little hyena. That's the second time we've just seen him sort of get a sneaky play off a backboard, and that 5-0 scoreline certainly looking very juicy for the Conspiracy lads, and it's definitely good to see some vengeance in their eyes, not getting some morale flattered from the first match.
Yeah, it is looking quite good here for Conspiracy. X-Ames demo onto Slurpy. Eric over the top. Oh, no finish from Classic Old Mate. Would have been difficult to pull off. I'm not saying that was an easy shot that he went for there. Definitely have to time those perfectly. He'll have another go with a pass. Not going to find it through, though, as Walcott floats down off the backboard. X-Ames can't connect on the third pass. Hectic does get demoed by Eric. We need this push up from Classic Old Mate, but Walcott with the pressure on Slurpy, trying to follow through for a demo. It's off the backboard by X-Ames. That's only going to benefit Conspiracy as the clock hits 0. It's waiting for it to touch the ground now. It may even be a 5-0, although that's a good touch on Eric. No, almost. Just a little bit too low. We'll call it a 5-0 as it is, but that was very close to being 5-1.
Yeah, well, not that it matters anyway. But
not at all.
Well, maybe if you look at the for and against, it's good to have on your resume, having that one extra goal. But
wow.
Yeah, well, you need to look at the positives in life, rankings, mate.
Yeah.
So that's why whenever I play Rocket League and we lose the match, I go, well, I have the most points. So there we go.
That's a 14-3 shot differential there. It's not looking good for To Be Decided in that one, but they are a team, I feel, with the way we've seen them play, especially I've seen Eric and X-Games in the past. They can bounce back from this. Can't say too much about Classic Old Mate, unless it's someone who's changed their name, but I don't think, changing your name on PlayStation is, I believe, a bit harder than it is on Steam, where you just go, I want to change my name and do it straight away. So this to me is a new player, so I don't have too much to say about him. I have a lot to say about the guys they're up against, though. Walcott, Slurpee, and Hectic, all these three players very well versed in this level of Rocket League. Eric does find it past three of them, but Slurpee does make it back in time to challenge in the defense. Classic old mate. It's a touch high now off the backboard. Slurpee trying to get the clearance past X-Ames, and he does. The touch on for Walcott. Slurpee does get on the back of it. Some weird pinch interaction or something went shy of the far post. So no such luck yet for Conspiracy. We were looking to see To Be Decided pick up the first goal as well for a second. Eric could make the pass happen. In fact, there it is. Slurpee beats X-Ames to it. It's a touch to the backboard. It's a nice play from Conspiracy, really. I mean, I know it's going towards your net, but it's rolling to the backboard in a safe area where a defender can reach it first. So can't really blame them too much. Conspiracy, that is, for the play they made. Walcott. The clearance down. X-Ames slows it down a little bit, has control now, pops it over Hectic. Classic old mate lost trajectory there, jumped up on a very awkward angle. Big demo onto Walcott from X-Ames. Won't drop it past Hectic though. Eric has to play underneath. Slurpee Monster, good job being defense so far, Racket.
Yeah, having a lot of room to work with, and Walcott's going to save that quite easily. But yeah, it's all been two-sided, as you said, but Conspiracy, they're holding on quite well. The defense is looking a lot more better than what it was previously before. If To Be Decided were doing this, they would have scored a goal by now. So they're, before they're rattling the cage and goals were getting through, now it looks like they've been a little bit more structured.
Here we go. Classic old mate. The backboard, Eric needs the boost. We'll let X-Ames come through. It's a backboard play, but Eric won't be able to find the angle in time. Now they've got to work the defense game. Conspiracy now have control. Hectic picks it up, flicks it up over the top. Walcott is there. Backboard. Looked like he may have been trying to go top left corner, but Eric was there to interrupt things. Here we go. Slurpee over the top. That's looking very good for Walcott. A little bit too much with the try on the freestyle. He did put it on target, but it gave way too much time for X-Ames to be able to get a judge of where it was going. I'd like to see Walcott, instead of trying the flashy stuff, just boom it straight down in the net. Don't give To Be Decided a chance to get that save, because a counter-attack play can happen. We're not going to see a goal off of it, though. Classic old mate, very close attempt. Walcott has the open net almost. Eric's there, does get the save. Classic old mate needs the clearance. Doesn't get it out of the half, but it's safe for now.
It was very close there. Hectic was contesting that as well off that initial attack there.
Oh, what's happening here?
Everyone's disappearing slowly. They've been taken to the void.
TBD are being DQ'd. Just a quick update. They're using a player who wasn't rostered on until September, guys. So that makes them ineligible to play in this tournament, unfortunately. So, I mean, it gives Conspiracy a free win. By the way that they were playing, I feel this was going to be a close series. It was looking like we were probably looking at a Conspiracy win either way. Unfortunately for To Be Decided, they were playing well, but at the end of the day, you've got to follow those rules, guys. Make sure you read them so that stuff like this doesn't happen. Racket, I believe we are going to have to cut to a short break while we get the next match organized. It will be Conspiracy by default going through to the grand final, and we'll be back with updates as soon as possible, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. We'll be right back.
When your name reminds me, those days when things were new, those days when I had you. Oh, take my hand and remind me what we used to believe and dream to be. Oh, take my hand now, find it. We are the dream. We are the dream. simple. Those days when things were new. Those days when I had you. Oh, take my hand and remind me what we used to believe and dream to be. Oh, take my hand now, find it. We are the dream. We are the dream. The dream. You know there's something that I saw about your ways. I hear it calling out for days. No reason or a doubt that I'm amazed. But you're backing off and don't seem phased. So why, oh why? It took one look and now you stare at me the same. So why, oh why? It took one look, but you play me like a game. It took one look and now you stare at me the same.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Renkies. I'm still with Racket here, and we are jumping into the grand final. It is Lynx Gaming taking on Conspiracy. And in the break, Racket, I had a look at the bracket here just to see what teams Lynx Gaming had to face up against to make it here to the grand final. So in the quarters, they took out the trash pickup. They put them into the lower bracket there. They didn't get too far through. In Lynx's next game, they put To Be Decided down there. To Be Decided met the trash pickup in lower bracket round 2A, or round of 2A rather, and made it through to what we've just seen, To Be Decided versus Conspiracy. And Conspiracy were down there because they lost to Lynx in the winner bracket final. So, of course, we do get to see that rematch of Lynx taking on Conspiracy in the grand final now. A game that I'm sure will be very pleasing to the globular organs.
Yeah, definitely will. Do you know what was the scoreline between between Lynx the previous match between these two?
Not entirely sure. We may be able to get that from B-Bears, perhaps, if we ask nicely and is that information for us. Might be able to receive that through in time. But currently, no, not aware of the score.
Well, I guess by default, Lynx would probably be the favourites anyway from them winning the previous bout between these two. But Conspiracy, of course, having the match before, a little bit fresh, you know. Getting a little bit of a warm up versus To Be. Forgot the team name. To Be Decided. Right, there we go. I was still deciding what the team name was in my head, so.
Yes, well, I mean, Lynx or just received word from B-Bears. He is a very nice man, isn't he, Racket? They beat Conspiracy 3-1. So the one thing you can say about Conspiracy going into this is they're aware that they can take games off of Lynx. And this isn't a best of 5, it is a best of 7. So it could play out a little bit differently. But of course, 3-1, still a nice win in a best of 5 for Lynx up against Conspiracy. So yeah, they would definitely be coming into this with the advantage. However, they haven't played since that winner bracket final, and lower bracket probably had a couple rounds of catching up. So, hopefully Lynx have stayed warm. They haven't joined into the lobby yet, so they may still be exiting out of whatever game they're in, keeping their hands warm. Conspiracy, of course, perhaps feeling, I'm not too sure how they'll take that. They could be feeling a little bit confident and happy about, okay, we got to play some games. We've picked up the free win. Let's go. Let's just take out the grand final. They could be feeling a little, I'm not sure what the right word to describe it would be, but perhaps a lack of not exactly deserving where they are. I don't think they should be looking at it like that, though. They should definitely be looking like, okay, this is where we belong. Conspiracy are a great team. They deserve to be in the grand final here up against Lynx. And yeah, hopefully whatever happened in the winter bracket final, they can turn around Racket and make it a more interesting series.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the way that they finished in, regardless of the disqualification, they were looking quite comfortable in that game regardless, right? So they did finish that series in a little bit of a high note. They had a high-scoring line game. And, oops, my phone fell. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I mean, certainly if you're going to finish off on a high note, you want to press forward that advantage into the next game. And of course, Lynx a little bit idle as a result of waiting for the scores to get through. Having the fresh game under the belt, Conspiracy maybe could get an early win here and maybe try to press that advantage. But Lynx having that previous victory against Conspiracy, you're going to have to be looking with your eyes on the magnifying glass to see how that works out the second time.
Absolutely. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it works out. As I was saying, we're still waiting for Lynx to join up into the lobby so we can keep chit-chatting about the game before that happens. To me, I would take that as good news for Lynx because it probably means they're still in a game and they're just going to wrap it up after they finish whatever game they're in. So hopefully they've been keeping their hands warm. But again, playing casual or ranked, just online queuing is substantially different to playing competitively in a tournament up against a team where you're not just playing for the hell of playing, you're playing to win. In this case, you want those juicy monthly champion titles, don't you, Racket?
I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome. Not that I've ever had that experience before. But,
we might be, if we keep on pestering B-Bears, he might be able to push our pesters onto the right relevant people. And who knows, soon we might be getting those ESL caster tags in game. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't see it happening. We jokingly asked months ago, and we were kind of told, no, we don't do that. So, oh well. I'm just glad we get to be here, Racket, to spectate these teams, primarily having fun. But also equally importantly, playing for those titles.
Yeah, and the good thing is, you know how when you look at a sports match and people like, right, so they're going for the title here. See, with Rocket League, you're literally playing for a title. Like you get a visual display on your name saying da 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 da. You've achieved this, right? Yeah. So Rocket League, they're taking it that step further. They've used the title as a literal meaning, and everyone can see how good you are at the game.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for what I suppose we would call conventional sports. I want to see in AFL them do some like fancy on-screen productions where if there's players on the field that have won like Brownlow medals or something, they have like a little tag floating above their head in real time. Like they just green screen it on or something, and Brownlow medalist 2016 or something. Like I think that would be really cool. That's the next step for for television sports, is up the production level. So we have Lynx Gaming joining in. They're in their slots and we are ready to get underway here, Racket.
Yeah, and see how Lynx, or rather Conspiracy, could come back from their previous loss against Lynx. And very excited for this grand final.
There we go. No easy goal to start off for Walcott. Slurpy Monster won't put that one in. shy off the right post. Sammy, clearance off the backboard. A good touch out from Snares. Bluey down the field. Lynx are a very powerful team, so not to discredit Conspiracy, but no surprise that Lynx were able to beat them in a winter bracket final. Hopefully Conspiracy are emboldened a little bit by the previous game. Are looking very comfortable, as you said. And they're able to stick it to Lynx, although Bluey with a fantastic rollover will bounce that one into the net.
And already getting an individual outplay out only at the start of the game. This is a very good sign for Lynx Gaming, showing that they have no mechanical rust since their last match. Of course, playing the actual game in the meantime certainly does help, and getting off to a fine start.
Absolutely, it's a great touch on to Bluey yet again from Sammy, I believe that was. Snares, fly high past that one. Sammy, it's a good play to Snares, tries to go off the wall. Bluey, not quite there. Walcott had plenty of time to go for the ball as well. Off the corner, ignores the boost. Will pick it up now though. It allows time for Bluey to find it past Slurpee. Hectic, not too successful in the challenge. Walcott, he's missed it off the sidewall. That's going to mean a big backboard play needs to come out. Walcott finds it safely to Hectic, ships this one forward. So a bit more space created for Conspiracy in attack, but Lynx responded in defense so well. It's going to be quite difficult, or that's a great pass from Walcott. But again, positioning just needs to be worked on a little bit for Conspiracy. Lynx seem to have a better idea of what's going on the field.
Yep, they certainly do, and their counter-attack looks quite spicy as well. Once a loose ball is in the midfield, they make sure they get a very good clear on it so they can take advantage of that. And now Conspiracy trying to do the other way around, but once again Lynx being a lot more consistent in that fashion.
There we go, that's a good touch from Bluey, not quite in there. Straight off that top left upright. Snares, not successful, finding it past Hectic, who picks up the save. Clearance out from Slurpee, but finds himself way past the ball. Too late, tries to demo Snares. Snares will find it onto the curb. Sammy almost into the top upright there. Again, not successful. Walcott with the save and Hectic with the clearance out.
Well, momentum's in the favour for Lynx at the moment, but the counter-attack from Conspiracy trying to get a little bit more lively. But once again, Lynx is continuously looking for the goal, but oh my! That is one of those unfortunate moments. That's sort of one of those replays that you want to look at, but you close your eyes at the same time.
Oh no, that's yeah, not too much to say about that there, Racket. Sometimes defensive errors like that happen. Perhaps just not getting out of your teammates' way in time is exactly what happened there. A little bit unfortunate for Conspiracy, but 2-0 isn't huge, especially if they can put one in now. They've got it down the field. Bluey with a save. It's not cleared though. Walcott almost bar down. Can he follow it up? Yes, he will. On his own, he'll pick up a reply goal and reduces it to that 1-goal deficit. Just under half of the game left, so still plenty of time for Conspiracy to get their heads back in this.
Yeah, once again, Walcott certainly utilising that backboard once again, getting a lot of goals off that, a singular mechanical play off that particular sort of play style. So if I were Lynx, I'd be certainly looking for that next time they approach that into the field.
Here we go, Walcott. It's not going to touch the backboard, it's to Slurpee. Tries to go forward for Hectic. Somehow he wins the pinch, but Sammy in a good enough position in defense to clean that one up. Slurpee off the backboard. Looking good for Walcott. Unfortunately goes straight to Snares, and that's sent out to Sammy. Chips this one really far off the left. Bluey waiting to receive, but Hectic a little bit too quick. Sammy over the top shelf as well. 3-1. What a perfect strike from Sammy.
Yeah, that was quite good from Sammy, and look at the way that the offense was in here from Bluey as well. Looking to try and close out the angle from the goalkeeper there as well.
Yeah, get a bumper, a demo, or just get in his way in general.
And that just adds another dimension to try and make the saves a lot more difficult than what they should be, and it's good to see Lynx are trying to be more proactive in that sense.
Absolutely, and that was Bluey, I believe, who flew across to try and disrupt the goalkeeper, so no surprise to see that kind of play from a player like Bluey. Snares, it's a great pass to Sammy. Chips with the top right on that backboard. Hectic will get a powerful clear. Looking good for goal as well, but Snares is back in time, does get the save, although a little bit too far out for the save credit to be given. Snares puts that one high. Bluey in an awkward position. The bouncer was the wrong choice from Hectic, enabled Sammy to come and clean that one up. If he was able to get that one just straight towards that top quarter of the goal, might have gone in. Remains to be seen, though, if Conspiracy can work another one down the field.
There's the clearance from Hectic. Almost an open net, but Snares back in time, gets the save and clearance out.
Let's see how the counter-attack can work here. Saw Lynx. Once they get ball onto wheel, they can really manipulate the way the game goes. But Conspiracy looking a lot more solid with their clears now, getting a lot more distance than what they usually have been.
Sammy, the sidewall, Snares. Going to get there in time. No challenge from Conspiracy. After the chip happened, there was a playthrough from, I believe it was Hectic. Walcott touched onto the sidewall, look to follow it up. Hectic got to try and get in a position to help his team out, and Pearl Slurpee Monster can't stop the shot from Bluey. Just not enough time to react in defense for Conspiracy here.
It's cutting through right there. Slurpee Monster just a little bit off on that. Not really too much he could do. But Bluey just cutting through right up and early. This is what Lynx have been doing. Just getting a lot of early contests on these balls, want to get those 50-50s, and it's been quite successful so far.
Absolutely. Here's Walcott out of the corner. Slurpee. They can put a goal in here, which they will, from the backboard play between Slurpee and Walcott. 15 seconds is possible to score 2 goals. They are up against Lynx, however, who have been playing quite well in this game, so I don't give Conspiracy a huge amount of chance to be able to pull this off. They can certainly score 1 in 15 seconds if they get a good kickoff. I'm not sure about 2 racket.
Oh, that is a decent kickoff.
Walcott! In 3 seconds is all it took. We'll have to see what happens.
Wow. Let's see if Conspiracy can actually cause a conspiracy in getting 15 seconds 2 goals. So they've got 1 so far. Let's see if they can do it again.
Right, Snares with a much better kickoff this time. And that's going to be Sammy just securing the game pretty much. Back to a 2-goal deficit. 7 seconds. Again, 2 goals are possible. However, I don't see it happening. I shouldn't say that, because if Walcott's on the kickoff, he already picked up a goal in 3 seconds. So if he does that twice, it'll leave 1 second in the game.
I mean,
we'll see. I don't think it's going to happen. They've got it down the field, but Lynx are in defense. They've almost own goaled it. In fact, they will own goal it, but it makes no difference to the score line. So there we go, 5-4. Score ends, and that gives Lynx their 2nd game in this series.
Yeah, and Lynx looking relatively comfortable. But that game, of course, was reasonably close, I think. I think Conspiracy have a little bit more upgrades in terms of what we've previously seen in terms of their weaknesses. Their clears are looking a lot more better than what they were before, and their defense against Lynx. Lynx have been very relentless in terms of their attack. They've just, not even with the way that they pass, they just set up so many shots based on, peppering the goal almost and waiting for a loose mistake. Yep. And if you're not just on the board in terms of that, with your structure, you're just going to get severely crippled with the amount of goals that are coming your way.
Absolutely. So, is Lynx Gaming 2-0 up in this series already? And it's not looking extremely good for Conspiracy. However, they have shown a sort of upwards trend in improvement in the series so far. So who knows? They might be able to pull out a win here in Game 3 and start making the comeback in the series. I'll have to find out as Walcott puts convincing pass to Hectic. Top right, just a little bit shy there. Slurpee, already too far committed in offense, so I'll have to see rotations back as Bluey gets ready for a pass. Sammy, they tried to go for a bump on Walcott. Bluey will put that across the field, but again, rotation's already used up by Lynx. They'll make another pass play off the sideball. Walcott, that's dangerous. It's given time for Snares. Walcott did get a touch there. Hectic has time now. Tries to dribble this out. Sammy will try and get a bump on him somehow. Wasn't supersonic by the time he touched him, so no demo there, Racket. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the counter-attack.
Now, once again, Hectic looking for that dribble outplay. We saw in the previous match that he can do those mechanical outplays there, but Lynx looking to manipulate that in demolitions and just trying to cut off all those angles and the space that would be required for Hectic to take it.
Good demo from Walcott onto Snares. Sammy almost finds it in on the post. Slurpee Monster with that clearance out. Bluey towards the backward. Slurpee again on the back of the ball. Awkward jump off the sideball. Snares tries to find the pass to Bluey. Has control. We'll set it up for Sammy now. A lot of passes happening in offense for Lynx, but not so much shots. Conspiracy getting away with stuff in defense right now.
See if they can work that out, though. Obviously, they want to remain a little bit more consistent because, once again, Lynx can get a lot of shots through if they really want to, and few shots being a little bit more closer than what they usually are.
There we go, Snares. Be off the sidewall, Bluey. Puts that one across for Sammy. We'll roll up, but Slurpee Monster's going to bet him to it, so Sammy rotates out. Doesn't even get the save as Snares snipes it for him. Sammy was there in time. Off the post, Hectic does get it away from net. Bluey tries to go far post. Slurpee's there, though. He's in a perfect position to save that if it was on target. Conspiracy will be able to carry this one out of the half now. It's a chip from Hectic to Slurpee. Back across for Hectic. Bluey's there. Far post, Hectic goes, but Walcott not in a good enough position to support as the miss came out from Hectic. A bit unfortunate there for Conspiracy, rather. 2 minutes 45, almost halfway into the game. Still scoreless, both these teams. Rack had a huge improvement for Conspiracy in defense.
Yeah, certainly, and I think this is a sort of weird indication as well, because we saw previously, I mean, despite the different team strengths, Conspiracy would like to get those early goals to forward that momentum as well, and I think Lynx, with a similar playstyle, you'd expect them to do a similar thing. So neither team having a goal, as you said, in this sort of half-time is very surprising.
Bit caught up in the corner there. Sammy gets a perfect pass back to Snares, but Hectic, wise to it, was able to jump up and dive for the ball. Walcott can intercept that one. Throws it forward. Sammy now can't get the clearance. Walcott will go towards net, but Bluey for the safe. Snares was on the line as well, so probably had a good chance of getting the clearance out too. Slurpee Monster tries to go over the top of Sammy. It's a center ball for anyone. Walcott flies underneath it. Hectic up in the air. Convincing backboard play. Walcott sweeps through. And poor old Bluey. It almost went straight to him, but just a little bit to the left of him. So he did get the touch, however, not enough to send it out of the net.
Yeah, so close there. They're in that sort of awkward position where you have to guess. And you have to have Zeus-like reactions in order to try and get that shot, but a little bit stiff on that, but you know, that's what we're supposed to do at the end of the day sometimes.
We are seeing Snares go between 250 and 500 ping. That's not a good deal there for the server gods for him.
Internet.
Poor old guy. He'll have to deal as best as he can with it. Walcott, will he find it in? Yes, he will. 2 goals now for Conspiracy with 1:19 remaining. So, I don't think Snares has been lagging the whole time. I've only just noticed it. Granted, I have only just looked at it. So, if that's just happened, now that's very unfortunate for him. If he's been dealing with it the entire game, then I say kudos, because so far he's been dealing quite well with it. He's sitting still right now. I don't know if he's been kicked from the game or he's just AFK trying to fix something. Sammy not going to get there in time. Walcott will pick up a third. This is not good for Lynx.
Well, Lynx were on fire before, but I guess being on fire was a sort of safety issue. So what that has done is it's actually lit Snares' modem on fire because of their performance. So ladies and gentlemen, never get Lynx and fire. That's not very safe.
No,
they put them together.
Throwback to high school. There used to be 2 kids in my music class who for some reason thought it was a good idea to spray their Lynx on their jeans, like denim jeans, and then light it on fire, laugh, and then put it out. It did no damage to the jeans, of course, but of course it was a bit of a safety hazard. So there we go. Poor old Snares modem. Is it still on fire? Let's have a look. No, he's completely dropped out. Sammy and Bluey 2v3 right now. They're going to have to take this game as a loss, and hopefully Snares can fix his net in the meantime. Perhaps the modem restart could fix it. Who knows? Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends if you have line damage or not. Hectic. They're going to pick up a 4th. It looks like they might. Walcott's there. Can't find it underneath Sammy, though. That picks up his Saviour badge. So at the very least, Lynx are defending well 2v3. So they're picking up something here. I don't think they're going to score 3 goals in less than 10 seconds, however.
No, they won't, but quite unfortunate for Lynx, but hopefully they can sort that out. And you can't really blame Conspiracy either, so it's not their fault. They're just playing the game. And a win is a win at the end of the day, and sometimes these technical difficulties can happen. It's the internet world. We haven't evolved yet where we're in a perfect state. Unfortunately, well, especially in Australia as well, where we're
Yeah.
behind everyone apparently.
I thought you were going to work into like some sort of, biological evolution joke, and like Australia's still stuck in the Stone Ages with copper wire or something. We don't even have I mean, to some extent we do, but I think it's limited to NBN only. VDSL, very high bitrate DSL line.
Right.
That's better than cable in some ways. The download is kind of not as good. I believe you can't get a solid 100 down, but the upload is so much better than cable. So, I'm stuck here with cable. I enjoy very glorious 100 megabit download speeds, but my upload is 2.
Wow.
Yeah, 2. So I can't stream. I'm like that far away from streaming. It's almost good enough, but not quite. I can't wait for NBN, because when I get the NBN, I get HFC, which is not as good as fiber to the premise, but it's hybrid fiber coaxial, which means I should still get 100/40. Meanwhile, it seems Snares, no idea. Maybe he's still on ADSL2. Poor guy, depending on where he lives. His modem's still on fire, it seems, Racket. So instead of spraying the Lynx cans, maybe a fire extinguisher is required at this stage.
Yeah, I can just imagine him. Like all the lights are off, and he's just sitting in the middle of his room with a candle, and he's sort of rocking backwards and forwards, and he's thinking, I just want Rocket League. I just want to play, and through through all this, everything will be okay. I have faith. And look, he's back.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick look at his ping once he gets in to see if that's all sorted. And if it isn't, what can you do? But you know what?
Yeah, I've just seen from Delusion. I believe he's the sub.
All right.
He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but he's said that Snares is on mobile now, unless I'm misinterpreting that. So at least you've got that. Hopefully it's 4G. At the very worst case scenario, 3G or some variation. Hopefully good enough for playing and doesn't chew through all of his data. There is still a bit of this series to go, Racket. That was only game 3 that we've just seen. This is a best of 7, so Lynx 2-1 up in the series.
Well, hopefully. So this is actually motivation for Snares. He's like, right, so I don't have unlimited data. So this means that I'm going to have to play ultra aggressive. This means that we need to finish it quick. So we're going to be seeing a new version of Conspiracy possibly as a result of that. It's you know how when you play like a fighter game or like Grand Theft Auto or something, and you can enable mods or like modifications. That's sort of what's happened. A sort of outside source is forcing Conspiracy to play in a different way, and maybe this could throw Lynx off balance. I was trying to create a narrative, a storyline, but it's not real. It's a fairy tale at best. But
Well, I have to correct myself. Delusion has let me know that Bluey is actually the sub. Delusion is core, but Delusion also has internet issues. So poor old Lynx, they got 2 guys with bad internet. So that's the only reason Delusion's not playing right now. But there we go. We'll see what happens. Snares, take a look at his ping. It is much better now. But got to keep in mind he is on that mobile data. Hopefully not too big of an issue. Gaming usually doesn't use too much data, so it should be fine. He's almost found the boomer. Bluey, that'll send it to Sammy. That should be in, and it is. A nice first goal here for Lynx.
yeah, that's already a very good start there from Lynx. And this is what we've been expecting so far in this series, right? Getting an early goal at the start, rather than last game, sort of not indicative of what we thought coming into this, of having a sort of stalemate until the halfway mark. And now we're seeing a little bit more consistency in that regard, and I guess Lynx having that stable ping does enable them to do so.
Certainly Bluey trying to set one up for Snares, but Hectic gets the clearance there. Sammy, it's an unfortunate miss, and Walcott won't miss that one. Bottom right corner, not the fanciest goal, but it doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to be accurate.
He certainly has capitalized on a lot of loose balls tonight, Walcott. I think he scored. He's definitely the top scorer within Conspiracy so far. He's been like a hyena pouncing on loose prey, and really is granting Conspiracy a get out of jail free card sometimes with just him being a lot active. Oh, wow.
Is that a caster's curse or not? Because there's Walcott And there's the ball.
See, I didn't say anything about Walcott's defense, mate. I said about his attack.
You may have cursed his defense with that, though. You got to talk him up everywhere, or you can't talk him up at all. Poor guy. Oh man, what a horrible! Again, shout out to T-Ball. A dog's breakfast. There's another one. Sammy with a very important pickup makes it 3-1. Lynx back on fire again.
Well, don't
this
say that.
time,
Don't say that, mate. We said that last time, and then we had some technical difficulties, so we can't use that punchline, unfortunately, mate. So we'll say Lynx Gaming. I don't really know.
Looking very hot.
Term, yeah, looking very
Or not, because what?
Yeah.
What is happening to this game?
As I said, mate.
What a controlled touch from Walcott, though.
Walcott on the offense. Offense.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the key term that we're looking for in this situation. He just always finds a way to get that ball on the other end of the goal. He's put the gloves on, he's caught the ball, and he's sorted it the other way.
Yeah, as you were saying, you're very accurate with he's picking up a lot on the loose balls. He almost found a nice double touch off the backboard, but not quite. But yeah, you very accurately pointed out he's picked up a lot of the loose balls, and Hectic not too far behind in overall scoring for the games we've seen from Conspiracy so far as well. He's been quite a valuable player for Conspiracy up in that forward half. Slurpee doing a fantastic job in that third man rotation, putting passes forward like that. Fair enough, Walcott didn't get the back of it. Made connection with Snares, and Snares now making a very aggressive, fantastic play forward. Bluey, unfortunately, couldn't capitalize. Snares opened up the net completely, and all Bluey had to do was put it in the back of the net. The angle he was given was not the greatest there, Racket.
Well, let's see if he can find another angle. There are multiple angles, luckily. But right now, Conspiracy looking a little bit more comfortable. I feel like they're a lot more competitive, and I actually predicted that goal would get in through that sentence. So, yeah, they had a lot of momentum coming into this, and that's actually quite unusual as well, because usually we see Slurpee being a little bit more on the defensive side and trying to get those passes through down the midfield, and him getting a goal just proves that they're trying to be a little bit more assertive in their gameplay.
Well, it was almost from halfway, so I mean, he did a good job to get it towards the goal. It wasn't as if he was playing deep offense. There's Walcott. Can be able to push that one down for a bouncer. Bluey trying to get the clearance out. Yeah, Slurpee Monster, I want to highlight him as well. He's been doing a good job in defense so far, rotating around, just supporting Hectic and Walcott wherever he can. Really, third role in a Rocket League lineup. You don't tend to get as many of the highlight reels in terms of, picking up the goals and everything, but it's probably the most important role because you're the playmaker. You're making those goals happen. Snares gets the save off the back of Hectic's shot. That top right corner. Just over 2 minutes remain now. That's towards net. Hectic, good save. They're replying back to each other, Hectic and Snares here.
Really trying to sort that out right now, and Slurpee being the person who was primarily saving, but they got Hectic in the back there, knowing that the pace was in the favour of Lynx. Nice adaptation. Snares is going to have his shot, but nice block there from Slurpee, taking his initiative.
There we go. Slurpee picks up possession of the ball, keeps it away from the net, but Sammy did a good enough job to set up. Bluey shoots a little bit too high, unfortunately. Snares will look to reset over the top. There's Bluey again, finds the accuracy, but Walcott with the instant save. Sammy, pinch off the backboard. That's gone off the ceiling nicely, but no one to follow up as Walcott is the first to it. Clearance out. It's a boost grab there, but Bluey has the clearance out. What a touch as well, looking for backboard, but Hectic there. A lot of back and forth now. End-to-end ping-pong.
Well, I know about that, mate. My name's Racket, so...
Oh,
and to get
Hectic
through.
There we go. Let's have a little bit of a look at this one. This was a nice play from Walcott. Bluey just couldn't get the clearance. A lot of pressure from Walcott onto him, and Hectic. Nice angle there. That's what I like to see. I don't want to see people trying to be fancy with the freestyles, nice little flick off the ball there. Look at the flick of the wrist. I just want to see nicely angled, aimed ball as fast as you possibly can from a straight direct touch down into the bottom of the net. Fair enough, freestyles look good, but they don't pay the bills, so to speak, Racket.
Yeah, well, they're good for the highlight reel, but that's about it. Not those consistent plays that you want to see in Hectic.
You can get the YouTube money, I guess. if you get really good at it and you're popular on YouTube with it, then you get the YouTube money.
Well, maybe Hectic's trying to start his career in that, mate. So maybe I have to have a chat to him about that.
He'll have to join OCE Freestylers. There we go, Lynx. Sammy across. Blue in the other end. So Snares. A little bit out of position. He is going to be able to put it towards net. Hectic and Walcott. There, Hectic gets the save. Walcott now trying to get the clearance off the backboard. Finds it past Sammy. Over the top of Bluey as well. They're a goal ahead of Conspiracy if they put this one in. Walcott almost had a slow one that rolled past Bluey, but it picks up the save. Regardless, that is probably going to be the win. Yeah, own goal right at the end there. Not going to change the result either way. So 5-3 the end result for Conspiracy here. They tie up the series 2 apiece.
Yeah, and that's the real interesting thing as well, especially without having the ping disadvantage we've seen. I think it's a really good sort of... It makes the storyline look a lot more crisper as well in terms of, you know, Conspiracy or Lynx can't make the excuse rather that, you know, they beat us only because, you know, we had a, you know, poor ping player. Now Conspiracy have actually shown themselves that they can take a match, and they showed that in the previous series before that. So just a little bit of competitive integrity getting in there. That the good will always win.
Mm-hmm. Well, there we go. Snares taking a little bit of time to ready up. Hopefully nothing wrong there. You know, maybe Lynx just taking some time to have a bit of a chat with each other about what they think went wrong in that series there. Hopefully they're able to pull things back together again. It wasn't you know, an awfully bad game for them there. It was still quite a close game. For the lack of the own goal right at the end, it was going to be 4-3.
Yeah, well, we're all tied up so far in this series as well, so us seeing going to be going in for the long run. Hopefully the mobile data can be saved here for the sake of Snares. Doesn't have a long bill to pay at the end of the month as a result. But you can say, right, if they do end up winning, and say, well, I've got the title, so it's worth. So there we go.
Alrighty, jumping into the game. Bluey with a much stronger kickoff there than, I think it was Walcott that went for it. Conspiracy. Walcott does win on that challenge. Sammy, the sidewall. Walcott has plenty of space. No one in net. Snares rotated out. Had to be Bluey to come through for the challenge. If Walcott had been a bit quicker realizing what was going on, he may have been able to pick up a cheeky first goal. Sammy, good touches along the sidewall. Bluey will follow it up. Hectic couldn't go for it, it seems. Walcott off the backboard. That's given Sammy room. Hectic now doesn't get the touch, but plenty of time for Slurpee. Over to Walcott. This is looking good for a backboard play. Bluey, nicely played. It's the touch out of there. Sammy jumps up. That's time to put it top shelf, but Slurpee gets the save. Bit of back and forth there. A few mistakes on either end, but so far nothing serious, Racket.
Yeah, well, we're actually at a completely even series, so 2-0 within this game as well. So maybe both teams a little bit tentative on what they want to do, and it's already showing on both fronts as well. A little bit of touch mistakes here, a little bit of overlap in terms of positioning, but I guess further and further we get into this game, we're going to expect some more standard plays from these teams.
There we go, Slurpee. It's a good pass down the field to Hectic. I don't know if that was just a horrible miss or a really over-exaggerated fake out from Hectic onto Sammy, but either way, Sammy ended up with possession. Slurpee depossesses out of the corner. Puts it back into the corner. Snares, pass across the net to Bluey. Hectic slows it down, gives it right to Bluey. Walcott will depossess. Hectic wraps around, trying to decide how they want to play this. Maybe communication going a bit wrong for both teams. Who knows?
Yeah, well, at least we're sort of seeing a little bit of a close scoreline in that both teams are trying to find a little bit... Well, actually, there we go. The goal comes in. So as soon as I said that, they do end up finding the gap there, but there wasn't really much of a clear there by Bluey. Didn't manage to find the second pop off the wall there. He really wanted to get that, maybe get a little bit of a pinch off it as well, but didn't find it as a contest was really early there as well when Hectic midfield trying to find that ball.
There we go. Sammy almost found Snares in the midfield. Of course, an important thing to point out, Snare's the only one on the team that is not wearing an ESL title at the moment. I'm not sure if he has any or not. If he doesn't, Bluey and Sammy are playing to get Snares the monthly champion title. The Conspiracy, however, they've already got the elite titles. They want the win. They want to complete the collection. They want the champion titles as well, Racket, and they're doing a good job so far. Still this 1 goal up about halfway through the game.
Yeah, they're taking revenge from their previous loss against Nate, so good to see them getting some in-game adaptations, and they think they've, maybe in their heads, they think that they've solved this Link's playstyle, but of course we have some still, it's 2-all, we're locked up, so a lot more games to go, and it's 0-1 as well, as that demo could provide a little bit more space, but been very close so far.
Taking a look at the scoreboard, there's really not a whole lot happening in this game. It's just been end-to-end back and forth play so far. Things really starting to tighten up for both teams, it seems. It's a good block there from Hectic, keeps it moving forward. Louis off the backboard doesn't connect. Sammy needs to touch. Slurpee puts the pressure on. Walcott off the backboard. Hectic comes flying through. It's a bouncer towards net, but Sammy's there for the save. Hectic, Slurpee wants to into Hectic. That's not good. Has to wrap around, gets it moving forward again. Sammy slows it down. Bluey up in the air, looking for a pinch perhaps. It is just a touch from Bluey that sends it forward. Looks for the rollover. Slurpee with the save. It's a savior badge as well. Good shot into the top shelf from Sammy. Walcott with the save. Snares can't finish that one. Bluey, an accidental own goal from Slurpee Monster with the attempted save. So close yet so far.
Yeah, unfortunate from Slurpee, but he did get a very good save previous to that, and look at this. He did have the right idea. He just didn't get the exact height to flip it up over the post there, but once again, this is a game that can be dedicated, dictated by millimeters, and just having that sort of short miss, an influx of goal on the other end, and Hectic looking for the goal himself. A lot more aggressive now.
It was very close. That previous attempt, Walcott rotates around. Slurpee tries to set him up, but no such luck there. Bluey finds the gap in the offense. Hectic tries to slow it down. Sammy looking for a bump perhaps, didn't get the boost to, and that gives Hectic time to turn around, completely uncontested. Out of the corner, Bluey does get the touch forward though. And he get aggressive. Can't find the pass. Slurpee doesn't predict where Sammy's going to put it. Will be off the backboard from Walcott now. Looking for the clearance out. Powerful touch, but Snares blocks at the halfway point. Hectic off the sideball now. Sammy. This is looking good. Slurpee has to clear, and he does get it completely uncontested. Did look like we were seeing, didn't catch who it was, but one of the Lynx players stuck in the offensive net.
Someone's put some glue there.
Here we go, less than 20 seconds now. Hectic, it's a good ball forward. Gets bumped from Bluey, that throws off Hectic. He wanted to get the rebound off the backboard, but Bluey couldn't reach the ball, could reach Hectic. Bumps him out of the way, effective use of game mechanics there. Does look like we might be going to overtime. There it is, it's going to touch the ground. No, Slurpee keeps it up. Gets a touch towards net as well. Walcott off the backboard. Snares, has he done it? No! Almost accidentally own goaled it. Overtime it is, Racket.
That was incredibly close there. Maybe two more seconds on the clock there. The goal could have came in. But both teams really close, trying to rattle the cage, see what's going to shake loose at the moment because they're very tight.
There we go, Slurpee. Clearance out. Sideball contested by Bluey. Slurpee keeps it going forward, finds it past Snares as well. Just Sammy to beat, but Sammy with an interesting 360 play on the ball. Didn't get it cleared. Will receive a pass from Bluey, chips it up for Snares. High flying, puts it down towards the net. Slurpee catches it. Didn't get the clear out. It comes from Sammy. Bluey first to touch it to get it moving forward again. Walcott, high ball over the top. Sammy. Nice play there, but Walcott still on the back of this, looking for the play off the backboard. Not quite there. You can see what they're working for, though.
Was certainly very close, and I think a funny thing that this Conspiracy team are doing, every time they try to go for this defense, Walcott looking for the 1v1. Slurpee does get very good catches when they try and save, and he's very calm with the way that he clears as well, giving the attackers room to get that pass throughout the midfield.
Absolutely. Obviously, we just saw Walcott almost have enough time to end it there. He tried flicking it forward to get as much speed as he possibly could, but at the end of the day, Snares was always going to be there, as was Sammy as well, in a position to save it. So it's Speaking of Snares, gets the clearance off the backboard. Walcott chasing it onto his own backboard. Gets demoed by Sammy. Can he slow it down? Snares, so Bluey doesn't quite put it there. Hectic straight to Snares. Lots of time for Slurpee. No challenge in time from Bluey to stop him. It's going to be Snares with his own boost and the ball control. Takes it up onto the ceiling. Throws this one long. It's a powerful hit there. Hectic trying to get it cleared out. Slurpee. Continuation of the play. Hectic onto the side wall. Not quite. Sammy blocks it. Gets it around Walcott as well. Almost sets up Snares, but Slurpee comes diving through to interrupt things. And Walcott, that's a very important miss there, Bluey. Plenty of time now to set up a pass play.
Yeah, how that does work out for them. Link's very good at peppering with the offense. That's so close again, but Slurpee Monster making sure that he can contest very early.
There we go, Bluey rotates out. Sammy comes through, but buys Walcott time to get up ahead in the field. Bluey, damn it, smart. Maintains possession, throws it forward for Snares. This is a good pass downfield. Can't connect on the 1-2 though. Walcott challenges on the wall, finds it past Sammy. Hectic looks to catch it. The flick towards net, it's looking good, just not quite there. Walcott, he leaves it for Slurpee. Perfect decision. Walcott could have scored that, but Slurpee was already facing the right way, so I like this play here. Conspiracy take the lead.
That was really, really cool there. As you said, Walcott would have had the opportunity to get himself, but Slurpee took the opportunity. And 4 shots on goal for Slurpee as well. Quite interesting stat, considering that we've seen him previously save a lot of the goals as well. So getting a few long shots as well. And with the amount of, I think his clears are very solid at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So Conspiracy.
Absolute. Yeah, absolute MVP there from Slurpee, I got to say.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so quick look at the stats, of course. Quite even in shots. Almost the same, in fact. You did see a total of 10 from Lynx, 9 from Conspiracy. Very close game there overall, and unfortunately, the server has been evil and gone down for maintenance as soon as the last of the players ready up. So we are going to have to jump back out to the main menu and get the lobby set back up again. But Conspiracy, as we've said, have taken the lead in this series. It is now 3-2 to them over Lynx in the grand final here.
Yeah, I think Conspiracy have evolved their gameplay. I think with their first meet-up against Lynx, they did lose 3-1. Well, maybe the scoreboard was a little bit close between those games as well, because the way it's been indicated that Conspiracy, once they get some momentum on their way, they can really, especially with the amount of loose balls, I think that Walcott can gather up, and just the sheer consistency on them getting a punish, and with Lynx just trying to pepper down your defense with them constantly getting shots, and sometimes leaves them a little bit more exposed, and I feel that's where Conspiracy comes in, lurks in the dark, and then just runs away with it.
Absolutely. So, still waiting to get this lobby back up and running. Do you think Conspiracy are going to be able to pick up the last game here, or are Lynx going to take it to that game 7?
I think it's really tough to call. I think that momentum is in Conspiracy's favor here.
Yeah.
But Lynx, I think they do have a real good shot, because don't forget, last game was a result of overtime, right? So both teams neck and neck. So anything can happen here, but if we're looking at, the way that the mindset people are coming into this next match, maybe Lynx are a little bit more flustered as well as a result of that disconnection. Maybe they're off a little bit off the tracks there, but I definitely think it's going to be very interesting, and I think the very first minute or so will be indicative of what would be to come later on as well, because both teams really like getting those early goals down with their both of their playstyles actually.
Yeah, 100% agree on that one. Both of them looking for that the early lead to pick up the advantage in the game moving forward. Conspiracy tend to benefit a little bit more from that. I think the couple games we've seen where Lynx have picked up a heavy momentum in the beginning, it's been a lot more punishing on Conspiracy. When Conspiracy manage to hold things off or even get momentum on their side in favour, we start to see a lot more contestation on the ball from Conspiracy. And hooray, Racket! We are loading into the lobby, so it seems like we are good to go. Get things underway again. Hopefully Snares, still no internet issues.
Hey, who was looking at the game and he's like, server maintenance, don't tell me my net's crashed again.
Thankfully not. Everyone has loaded in, just waiting for them to jump into their respective slots. Well, I say everyone, I don't see Hectic, so I think we're just waiting for him to join back in now. So not much longer to go here, Racket. It's going to be a very interesting game, I feel. Obviously, there we go. Hectic jumps in. And yeah, I mean, depending on how the beginning of the game plays out, the kickoff, we could be seeing Conspiracy take the series now, or Lynx taking it to Game 7. I'd like to see the Game 7. I think everyone likes to see that, Racket.
And it very well could be the result as well. Few of these matches have been going to overtime, which is indicative of how close these teams are.
Absolutely, Snares. That's a poor clear. Hectic tries to chip it up, but can't get it around Snares, so he's able to rectify the mistake. Slurpee almost able to dribble it, on towards net, but Bluey breaks it down. Snares. It's a pinch clear out off the backboard. This is looking good so far for Conspiracy. A little bit more controlled in offense.
Well, we certainly are taking it to them at the moment. Hectic, that's a brilliant shot. Snares jumps and clears it with his head though. The Conspiracy are being the ones to try and control the pace at the game at the moment. Let's see how Lynx reacts.
There you go, Slurpee. Back in defense again, Walcott. Good clearance out. Hectic can get on the back, but keep it moving forward for Walcott. On the sidewall now. Puts it onto the backboard, but Snares with clearance out. Sammy, I think that was a half flip to try and maintain control of the ball, but couldn't catch underneath it, and Slurpee got it moving forward. Hectic, little bump onto Bluey there, and Snares has to make the save, a slow roller, but Walcott feeds it straight to him into the top right corner.
Well, that was so slick there from Hectic. And Walcott once again being that consistent player, leading those shots straight in. This time at the top right of that goal. And Walcott once again very, very sturdy. Sleppy Monster aggressive off the kickoff. Walcott coming in again, getting those loose balls. This is crazy.
Now, that was a great first shot here from Walcott. Sent it low, forced all three players on Lynx to go for the save. None of them could recover in time to stop Hectic's shot. Not quite top shelf, but pretty significantly higher in the goal there. So a nice play for Conspiracy. They already pick up the second goal just about a minute and a half into the game.
Yeah, this is awesome news if you support Conspiracy, as they really aren't giving up, and they're really showing that after that first goal, they want more. They're not going into a defensive turtle mode. Thirsty for blood at the moment as Lynx, they're trying to recover from it.
Absolutely, a close one there from Walcott, almost own goaling it. We've seen that once or twice already from Conspiracy tonight. Hectic puts that one forward, maintaining his speed with the ball. Sammy was able to get the boost and wrap around for the challenge. That's towards net. Walcott, early save out. Snares off the backboard, open net. Oh my god, Slurpee Monster's there in time, and Snares can't put it off the rebound.
Awesome save there from Slurpee, once again sliding across the edge of the goal. Can Walcott save it? That is amazing there. Twice in a row this team has survived near death when it comes to these goals. Can Walcott doing it again? He's done it.
Significantly easier that time, as there's no follow-up in time from Lynx. Oh, there we go though, top shelf from Bluey, and Slurpee can't jump up in time. That's what we needed to see.
And this is what I mean from the erosion of attack here from the Lynx squad. So many opportunities, and when you just pepper and pepper against this goal, you're pretty much allowing yourself, percentage-wise, one of these is going to go in. Once you get your rotational attacks in and try to take advantage of any person who's a little bit loose in the defense, they take advantage of that.
There we go, Sammy to Snares, can't quite connect. Sammy still on the back foot though. Picks up the boost, cuts it low off the backboard, but Walcott reads that quite well. Hectic now, trying to keep it away from Bluey. Slurpee already up in the air. This is bad. Walcott's been bumped out. If Bluey can get a pass to Snares, it's looking pretty good for Lynx. But no, Walcott snipes through. No clearance out yet, but still looking good for Conspiracy and defense.
See how they can handle it. That's going to go over the top. Lynx, look how aggressive they all three members up in arms there. see if they can try to retreat to try and defend this correctly.
There we go, Slurpee. Wraps through. Walcott almost. Bluey had to smash that on his own backboard, but what a pickup from Walcott. Hectic with a nice pass there. Gotta watch that again.
This is absolutely superb. Working around your angles. Hectic, that was an amazing pass. Walcott immediately aware of that as well. It's the synergy here. Walcott, a prime finisher. Hectic showing his mechanical prowess. And this team is certainly looking on fire. And I can say it to Conspiracy because that is not a safety issue.
There we go, Snares. It's a clearance out. It's gaming 2 goals behind. A minute 20 remains. Can they make it 1 goal? No, Walcott gets the save. Sammy puts that one across. Slurpee half flip to try and challenge the ball. Snares still beats him to it. Walcott up in the air, but Sammy again trying to make the pass plays happen. And Bluey not quite there. It was post. Hector gets the save regardless. Sammy leaves it for Snares. Backboard play. Walcott hits the touch. Slurpee Monster on the far post. Handbrake turnaround. Challenges Snares successfully. Won't find it past Sammy. Hectic's there to back him up. Sammy sends it too far over. 50 seconds remain and Lynx desperately trying to reduce it to a 1 goal deficit.
Well, they really need to do it. We're in very dire situations at the moment. And Lynx really need to put the pedal to the metal. They're looking for it right now. Slares trying to confirm it off. Once again, Walcott on the defense this time. Being very consistent with those saves. 30 seconds left.
There you go. Sammy can't connect for the pass. Walcott will get the clearance out. Slows it down so Snares has nothing to do with it. Slurpee Monster can come forward and chip it along the field. Again, there's no pressure on Conspiracy to try and score. They're actively trying still, but there's no pressure. They can play it a little bit more safe. Lynx, they need a goal right now if they want to hope for a kickoff goal. It doesn't look like it. Bluey off the backboard though. 0 seconds. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not possible for Lynx to win anymore. It touches the ground. And Conspiracy, in a nice, somewhat of a reverse sweep. I believe that's the last 3 games in a row that have gone in their favour. So, good effort for Conspiracy. Excuse me. And a nice story there in the end, Racket. They now have completed the collection. They're proudly wearing the monthly elite titles, and they have just earned the monthly champion titles by winning that grand final.
Yeah, they've put the nail in the coffin. They've done a good job there. And I think reverse sweeps are the most exciting thing, put in perspective as well, because they're showing that their mental game is rather strong as well. Sometimes when you're in that sort of position and you're down, some people get a little bit tilted. They play a lot differently. They think that they need to be different. And Conspiracy just looked like they adapted and they thought, right, let's try do this, and this against the squad of Lynx. And they seemed to really just evolve their gameplay in that sort of way. And particular players stepping up. We've seen pretty much every single player of Conspiracy have their time in the sun, and especially Slurpee Monster. We saw him previously being their key defensive player. Even he was going up to facilitate a lot of these ongoing plays, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of highlights from Hectic in the previous series up against To Be Decided. Well, what we were able to cast of it anyway. And then Walcott across both series had plenty of fantastic plays, taking advantage of defensive mistakes, picking up on a lot of loose balls and converting them into some fantastic shots, actually, that we saw from him. And Slurpee Monster, of course, got to give a shout out to him for some of the highlights he picked up just in this series towards the end. He played very valuable third rotation playmaker role in the previous series, and in this one, not only was he able to follow through with that at the same level that he was in the previous series, he also got up there for some impressive shots himself. So Conspiracy, I feel they deserve this one. Lynx, they played obviously really well to get where they were. They even came into the grand final with that 1 game advantage, but it just wasn't enough. It seems they picked up technically 2 games, but they won one of the games played, and Conspiracy, they picked up 4. Really nicely played. Yeah,
it was an awesome series, and I think just having a lot of games under the belt there, this is why having a long series and having a lot of matches rather than just a best of 1 is so good, because you get to see, was that a fluke or what's happened here? What situation would adapt if this happened? And I think when you have situations where that they verse each other previously, then they can sort of suss each other out and work together. And I think that's what Brucey did there.
Absolutely. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of our night. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching. We peaked just over 100 viewers, Racket, so nice job there for everyone watching, supporting Rocket League Oceania. Of course, look at the Twitch panels down below, guys. You can join their Discord if you want to get involved in the community. You can head on over to ESL as well and sign up for the weeklies and get yourself into a monthly final yourself if you have a decent enough team. My name is Rankies. I've been with Racket. Shout out to our lovely producer, Beatnik, and we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Won't have to give a damn about you or your inhibitions. And after all, you're the one who taught me love was not for everybody. However, I'm starting to see this world in the right light, yet it still gets darker. You see, it's just a simple symphony or a painting, whatever. It's a natural path, it spans infinitely, but my world is crumbling. Let it collapse into the abyss. In the midst of summer it won't exist. This emptiness, it's just a blank slate, waiting for pain to interfere. It's quite complex, but what I know